Luke 23, verse 33. And when they were come to the place, that's enough. Thank you so much. Thank you. The Lord is unique in making people, places, and things famous. The Bible is frequent with places. There's a place called Aaron where the ark landed when the flood was over. There's a place called Moriah where Abraham offered his son Isaac as a sacrifice. There's a place called Sinai where Moses received the written law. There's a place called Pisgah where God showed Moses the promised land. There's a place called Nebo where God buried Moses, turned around and buried his grave. There's a place called Carmel where Elijah challenged the God that answers by fire. There's a place called Zion where David found out that God is a stronghold in the time of trouble. There's a place called Olive where Jesus would retire and pray all night long. There's a place called Hermon where Jesus was transfigured. His divinity outshined his humanity. But there's a place called Calvary where my sin debt was paid. Calvary supersedes all of the other places. Just as a castle is beyond a cabin in room space, just as an orchard is beyond a twig in fruit bearing, just as a river is beyond a reel in reach, just as a cannon is beyond a pump gun in distance, just as eagle wings are beyond sparrow wings in strength, so is this place above the other places. The place is so unique until the prophets prophesied about this place. In Genesis 3:15, the Bible said that the seed shall bruise the serpent's head. The prophets prophesy about this place. Unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulder. His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. The prophets prophesied about this place, but Jesus preached about this place. Jesus said in John 12:32, and if I be lifted from the earth, I'll draw all men unto me. He had reference to this place. Matthew 16:21, the time has come that the Son of Man should suffer, be crucified, die, but rise again on the third day. He had reference to this place. John 9:4, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Night come when no man can work. He had reference of this place. The prophets prophesied about the place. Jesus preached about this place, but God the Father planned this place. Because in Revelation 13:8 says the Son of Man was slain before the foundation of the world. Meaning the eye in the mind of God the Father, Jesus had died at Calvary before he was born at Bethlehem. You see, God doesn't count like we count. We have to cut time in the segments to keep up with it. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Was, is, and shall be. But yesterday is in the tomb. Tomorrow is in the womb. Yesterday is a canceled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. Yesterday is recollection. Tomorrow is speculation. But with God, everything is an eternal now. With God, yesterday is now. With God, today is now. With God, tomorrow is now. With God, he never have to leave from where he is to get to where he's going. He's already where he is and still where he was. He can tiptoe and stand flat at the same time. He can take a crooked stick and hit a straight leg. He talked about this particular place. Jesus is now hanging on the cross. Three worlds are watching to see the outcome of what will happen from this Calvary encounter. Earth is watching. Hell is watching. Heaven is watching. Quiet as it is kept, there were people on planet Earth when Jesus was here didn't like Jesus. The baker didn't like him because Jesus could take 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, feed 5,000 men without counting the women and the children. The undertakers didn't like him because they had problem collecting whenever anyone would die. Because if Jesus heard of that death, he would get them up. When Jairus' daughter died, he came to the house and got her up. Yes, sir. When the widow's son died in Nain, while they was coming out of the funeral, out of the city, Jesus was going into the city and got him up. And when Lazarus died, Jesus showed up before the undertaker could collect, and it got Lazarus back up from the dead. The undertakers didn't like him. The bakers didn't like him. Or the physicians didn't like him because Jesus would heal every sick person he ran into. He would either go to the house and lay his hand on them, or if he couldn't get there, he would let you walk up behind him and touch the hem on the hem. The H-E-M him that's wrapped around the H-I-M him. And if he couldn't get there and you couldn't get to him, he would just send his word and would heal you long distance. Preachers didn't like Jesus because they would leave the comfort of the pews and go to the seashore to hear Jesus said, "Blessed are the pure in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." He was hanging between 3 worlds. At Calvary, it's a wonderful scene to look. Jesus makes 7 statements while hanging on the cross. 3 statements are addressed to man. 3 statements, they are addressed to God. Yes, sir. 1 statement is addressed to God, man, and the devil. Yes, sir. Talk to me, somebody. The first statement, Father, he said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." That's addressed to God. The 6th statement, Father, into the hand I commit my spirit, is 7 statements addressed to God. The 4th spirit is addressed to God. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which is to say, my God, why have thou forsaken me? 3 statement is addressed to man. Today, thief, you'll be with me in paradise. 3rd statement, woman, behold thou son. The 5th statement is, I thirst. 1 statement is addressed to God, man, and the devil. Is the 6th statement when they say it is finished. The Greek word is telestai. In the Greek, it means I won. My hands are nailed to the cross. I got spikes in my feet. I got a thorny crown on my head, but I won. You see, the Christian race is the only race you're ever in. You win first and then run. Every other race, you have to run to win. You say, I don't understand that, preacher. Well, I was watching baseball the other day, a fella hit the ball and he knocked it out of the park. I was sitting watching. He dropped his bat, ran around first, ran around second, ran around third, waved while coming in. When he got into the dugout, I called him on the cell phone. I said, brother, I just saw you knock a home run. It don't make sense for you to knock the ball out of the park and then put the score on the board and you wasting time running the bases. He said, it is true. I did knock the ball out of the park. They put the score on the board, but the rules to the race. So in spite of knocking the ball out of the park, you got to run the bases. He said, but preacher, you need to remember, I wasn't running to win. I was running as a winner. You ain't talking to me. So the rest of them was running to win. He said, but I was running because I am a winner. Luke records 3 of these statements. John record 3 of the statements. Matthew and Mark record 1 statement together. Luke records the first statement, Father, forgive them for they know not what they're doing. He recorded the second statement, today thief, you'll be with me in paradise. And he records the 7th statement, Father, into thy hand I commit my spirit. John records 3. The 3rd statement, woman, behold thy son. 5th statement, I thirst. The 6th statement, it is finished. Matthew and Mark record the 4th statement together, Eli, Eli, lamba sabachthani, which is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Watch how he stands here. He decided to die between 2 thieves. They all 3 died a different type of death. The thief on the left died a blasphemer. Yes, sir. Thief on the right died a believer. Yes, sir. Jesus died a benefactor. Thief on the left died in folly. Thief on the right died in favor. But Jesus in the middle died in fulfillment. Yes, thief on the left died in grief. Thief on the right died in grace. But Jesus died in glory. Yes, thief on the left died hassling. Thief on the right died in hope. But Jesus died in humanity. Thief on the left died a conniver. Thief on the right died in kindness. But Jesus died King of Kings. Thief on the left died mocking. Thief on the right died in mercy. But Jesus died ministering. Thief on the left died in rejection. Thief on the right died in reception. But Jesus in the middle died for redemption. Thief on the left died in sin. Thief on the right died from sin. But Jesus died for sin. Thief on the left died a sinner. Thief on the right died a saint. But Jesus dies a savior. Do I have a witness? There are 4 miracles that took place at Calvary. One was the miracle of the sun. Yes, sir. The second was the miracle of the sanctuary. The third was the miracle of the sepulchre. The 4th was the miracle of the soldiers. The miracle of the sun, Matthew said, 27 verse 44, 45, it said, it at high noon, darkness covered the land. That's where we got this, that Jesus went on the cross for 3 hours. Mark messes up because Mark 15:25 said it was the 3rd hour. Yes, preach, Reverend Ray, that they crucified Jesus. It had already been prophesied that he would hang there 6 hours because he had to be in the hands of man for 3 hours and in the hands of God for 3 hours. Talk to me, somebody. Now it's dark. The thing that got my attention is that God waited until the sun was at its zenith. He waited when the sun was at its brightest before he decided to put out the lights. You know, God worked like that anyway. God don't take the easy way out. Matter of fact, sometimes when he get ready to heal you, he wait till everybody else give up on you. He wait until your doctors walk out of the room. Say, we've done all we could. Then the Lord shows up. Man's extremity is God's opportunity. Talk to me, somebody. You know he's universal in his appeal. He's reasonable in his teaching, reliable in his promise. You see, my God, can't nobody beat him doing nothing. Do I have a witness? Darkness covered the whole land. Why did God put out the sun and moon? Because at this time in history, 2 suns couldn't shine at the same time. It was time for the S-O-N to shine. So the S-U-N had to take a back seat. Y'all do hear me, don't you? Because if you notice, the focus is on him. Listen at Luke 23:33. And when they would come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him. John 1:3, all things was made by him. Without him was not anything made that was made. John 1:4, in him was life. Life was the light of men. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Acts 1:10, 11, 12, why stand ye here gazing into heaven? The same way you see him go, same way he's coming back again. Acts 17:28, in him we live, in him we move, and in him we have our being. Romans 10:9, that if thou shalt confess with the mouth the Lord Jesus, shall believe in thine heart that God raised him from the dead, thou shall be saved. Romans 11:36, by him, through him, to him, all things exist. Ephesians 3:20, now unto him that's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. Jude 24, now unto him that's able to keep us from falling, so he can present us faultless before his presence with exceeding great joy. Revelation 1:1, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him. Revelation 1:4, John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you and to him which was, which is, and which is to come. Revelation 1:5, and Jesus Christ, the faithful witness, first begotten of the dead, prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood. Revelation 1:6, and made us kings and priests unto him be glory, majesty, power, both now and forever. Revelation 1:7, behold, he come with cloud, every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wear because of him. Revelation 1:17, and when I saw him, a witness. Can I tell you what God is up to? He's trying to remind us it's about him. It's not about us. It's not about cars and cash and clothes and commodities and creature comforts, Caribbean cruises, a little cottage in the country. It's about him. I'll be out of here in a moment. Darkness covered the land so the sun could shine. He put the light out. Number two, because God didn't want us to know exactly how much his son suffered. Nobody really knows how much he suffered. Isaiah helps us out a little by saying he was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquity. Chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Haven't got any help in this house. But it put the light out because of the naysayers. Preach, Reverend Ray. You see, as long as light was shining, they were criticizing Jesus, spitting on him, pulling hair out of his beard. But when the lights went out, the enemies got quiet. Anybody here know God can shut you up? Whenever he get ready to shut you up. Number one, the miracle of the sun. But secondly, that was the miracle of the sanctuary. Because the Bible said the veil was split. There are three locations in the temple. One is the outer court. One is the inner court. And one is the holiness of holy. You can go to the outer court. Only special people could go in the inner court. But the holiness of holy was off limit to everybody but the high priest. Because in the holiness of holy was the mercy seat, the ark of the covenant. Talk to me, somebody. The priest could go in there once a year. When he went in, he would tell God about my problems and wait on God to give an answer. He'd come back and tell me what God said. But what they didn't know is that Jesus was all of the stuff in the holiness of holy. Number one, Jesus was the high priest. Secondly, Jesus is the mercy seat. Thirdly, Jesus is the blood that goes on the seat. And the Bible said the veil was split. Now this veil was 60 feet high, 30 feet wide. But the Bible said it was split from the top to the bottom. Now that told me to tell you, man didn't do that. Because when man do stuff, he got to start at the bottom and work his way to the top. And when God do whatever he's going to do, he start at the top and work his way down to the bottom. Am I in here by myself? And when the veil was split, that gave me access to go to the mercy seat. That means now I ain't got to wait on no priest to show up in my behalf. And Hebrew chapter 4 say you ain't got to go with your head down. So you can go boldly, preach from Ray, to the throne of God. Have I got a witness in this house? There is, the miracle of the sun, the miracle of the sanctuary, but there's miracle of the shaking. What you mean? Because the Bible said when the veil was split, an earthquake shook the place. If though God said, I'm running out of witnesses around the cross, so I'll bring my own witness up. You see, because Jesus didn't have but 5 church members now. John, the beloved disciple, was there. The mother of Jesus was there. Yeah, Joanna was there. Salome was there. And another Mary was around the cross. I asked her what happened to the 5,000 that was there for Jesus to feed him. What happened to blind Bartimaeus that the Lord gave him his sight? They all walked away. I used to get upset when folk would leave me, but when I read the text and saw that they left Jesus, surely they walk away from me. God said, I don't need y'all's witness. I can use nature. They were crowned in my behalf. It was a shaking. Help me say shaking. I've held y'all long enough. Shake somebody's hand and say, thank God for the word. It all happened out on a hill that's called Calvary. It is said that a mother and a son went on a shopping expedition. They went to a huge mall. The boy wanted to shop for toys. Mama wanted to shop for items for the house. And they got carried away and misplaced each other. The boy couldn't find his mother, and the mother couldn't find her son. So she went on home hoping that somebody would locate her boy. Late that night, police officers was walking the beat and looked in the department store window and saw the little boy laying on a box. He called the store owner. So you need to come down and open up your store. That's a boy that's lost. We need to get in the store. The store owner came and let the police in. They woke the little boy up, said, son, are you lost? He said, yes, sir. So do you know your address where you live? He said, no, sir. Do you know the phone number? He said, I don't know it. Do you know the community, the neighborhood you live in? The young boy said, I'm sorry. The police officer, I'm just trying to find a landmark to get you close to your house. So I want you to think and tell me what's around your neighborhood. The young boy said, well, down the street from where I live, there's a church house. On top of the church house, there's a steeple. On top of the steeple, there's a cross. So, Mr. Police, if you get me to the cross, I can find my way home by myself. Thank y'all for letting me stop by. But if you see me staggering along the way, if you see me and look like I'm lost, take me by my hand and lead me to the cross. If you get me to the cross, I'll find my way home by myself. Catch somebody by the hand, say, neighbor, at the cross, where I first saw the light, the burning of my heart rolled away. It was there by faith I receive my sight. Help